More teams going into Riyadh, Saudi Arabia after the Esports World Cup qualifiers were coming to an end. And also, we've got to talk about the future of Tripods and what organization might get involved to sign this team, especially coming after the Apex After Hours last night with Snipe Down and many of your favorite pro scene content creators. So let's dive in and discuss what's going on. Firstly, I thought this was funny. The memes are coming out, right? Gent posted yesterday, the Saudi Arabia bound. Shout out to my dog. The denim is going international. You guys have heard the memes about the jeans coming from Gent. Well, Fallout commented saying the denim jeans apparently were banned in Saudi Arabia, so maybe just leave them behind and be safe. Then you also had the actual meme come out. Gent posted that. So, this is his way of getting his denim jeans, I guess, over into that part of the world. There has been a lot of controversy going around about the location of this land and the rule set, the culture, what they will allow, what they don't allow, and their tourist rules, and are they going to be locked up if you break the rules, all this stuff. So maybe if you guys are actually over in that part of the world and you know it, you live it, you can comment down below and clarify. I mean, this stuff is not just talking about denim jeans, of course. That is quite a big joke. I mean, I did read that apparently they don't allow narrow jeans, but I don't really know what they mean by that. But of course, it goes into much deeper social issues, and that's where the controversy is coming from. So feel free to clarify some stuff down in the comment section below. Also, we've got to talk about some of these other teams that are joining in all of this. So Redragon over from the EMEA scene came out to also qualify, and of course, they've had their fair share of history inside of the ALGS, especially after all the drama with PSQs last year. Then you also had two APAC North teams, which was Fennel and 14 Lost. Of course, Fennel is well experienced inside of the ALGS scene, especially the organization in itself have been around quite some time for doing this. And then I think one of the biggest surprises, and I'm honestly very proud of the South American region, especially Geared Gaming specifically. So Geared Gaming has gone back and qualified once again. And I mean, honestly, to see their name up on this, it was just, it's one of those things where South America's already fighting against the wall. They're already trying to prove themselves. So Leave No Witness and Team Geared were able to qualify themselves into the Esports World Cup. So big congratulations to these guys. I know they have a lot to prove. They always feel like they have a chip on their shoulder and something to go out and prove with. So I'm happy for them. And hopefully things do keep progressing for those. Now, also, we got to make mention of the group stages themselves and the actual groups and which teams are in which group. Now, I will give you a little bit of a warning. There seems to be some discrepancies going around. So Oversight Esports is actually reporting a different set of groups than what Liquipedia is reporting. So I did reach out to Liquipedia and their guy that runs it, and I'll let you know down in the comments down below what he responds with as to whether or not his list is correct or if Oversight's is correct. So we'll go over both. We'll talk about the implications of both, and then the clarity should be down below once he does respond. If there's no response there, then that means I haven't got a response yet. So Oversight Esports is reporting that this would be based on the version of the rule book. Here are the tentative groups. So you would have Dark Zero in Group A. Following Group A, you would have Team Liquid, Disguised, Luminosity, RC, GHS, Crazy Raccoon, RR, Aurora, MIH, 07, Omit, Legend, TYK, Tom Young Kung, Serenity, BGB, Geared Esports, FLLU, and Tripods. Some of these abbreviations are not coming to me, but we'll get more into that in just a second when it comes to the Liquipedia one. Then you've got Moist Esports, TSM inside of Group B. You've got E8, SSG, Fnatic. So honestly, Moist, TSM, E8, and SSG are another reason to call this, I guess, a super group. These guys honestly are both super groups. I think both of these groups are very well balanced. You've also got Fnatic, you've got Riddle, you've got HAO, you've got Northeption, you've got Navi, Alliance, PUA, which I think is Passion. You've got BLCK, which I am guessing is the Blacklist International. You've got YBG, LGD, which just signed literally yesterday, I believe. You've got Virtus Pro, HRZ, Leave No Witness, RD, XSET, and 14 Lost as well. So these groups obviously both have a lot of firepower going into those, and so it's going to be a blast to watch these play. Now, coming from Liquipedia, you have a different group that is actually being reported, so let's go over those. Firstly, Group A would be very similar but slightly different. So Liquipedia actually has Tripods in Group B instead of Group A, and so it would look a little different having XSET from Group B in Group A instead. So it'd be Dark Zero, Liquid, Disguise, Luminosity, Reject Winity, GHS Professional, Crazy Raccoon, Red Rams, Aurora, Made in Heaven, 07, Omit, Legends Gaming, Tom Young Kung, Serenity, Boogie Borders, Geared Gaming, Fennel, Lightning Unicorn, Team XSET. Then on Group B, you would have Moist Esports, TSM, Elevate, Space Station, Fnatic, Riddle, HAO, Northception, Navi Alliance, Passion UA, 2R1C, which is now Blacklist, Weibo Gaming, LGD, Virtus Pro, Heroes, Leave No Witness, Redragon, Tripods, and Team 14 Lost. So Tripods, XSET may do a little bit of a switcheroo. Time will tell, of course, and we'll let you know down in the comments which of these would be correct. But I think honestly that North America will have a fair way of getting their top teams through. I think like teams like Dark Zero, of course, Disguised will not struggle. I think that Moist Esports and Space Station will not struggle. I'm obviously rooting for TSM, but I need to wait and see how they're actually going to perform. Of course, they've been doing solid inside of scrims thus far, but we've got to see more reps, I guess. No pun intended there, by the way, in order to see a real conclusion on this team. And I think Elevate is another one. They've got a lot of firepower. I don't hate the roster decisions that they've got now. Of course, we love Shuby, and we didn't really want to see that change, but I do think that they are a very good, talented team. And now with their new lineup, I think they're very capable of doing some big damage. But honestly, after we just watched the latest LAN, I feel very confident in some of these APAC North teams, these APAC South teams, or EMEA compared to these North American teams. Like, as much as I love my TSM and Elevate, and I will continue to support them, I feel much better about Fnatic going into this. I'm not going to lie. I do feel very confident in Virtus Pro going into this. I'm not going to lie. I feel pretty good about 2R1C going into this. So I think that you're going to have a very fair time with your top teams from APAC North, your top teams from EMEA, and so on and so on. I do worry about the middle of the pack North American teams. Of course, we've always kind of pushed this narrative for quite some time, especially North American people in general, that all North American teams are better than the top of the other region teams. That is most definitely not the case anymore. And I don't think you can prove that by any means whatsoever. So look out for these middle of the pack North American teams, and will they actually uphold that standard of old compared to what we just saw at the Split 1 playoff? I do not think so. I think these other regions are catching up. I think they look great, and I'm actually predicting that you will have some upsets for North America in this as well. Now, when it comes to Group A, I actually disagree a little bit. I think that all your North American teams right here, Disguise, Dark Zero, Team Liquid, Luminosity, will make it. I think they'll all have a very good time inside of this Esports World Cup, especially in the group stages, of course. Then Reject Winity, I obviously got to give a lot of confidence to, being that they just won. I worry about these teams like GHS, Red Rams, Made in Heaven. Of course, you never know who's going to show up. Omit, are they going to show up that day? TYK, Boogie Borders. There's so much talent here, but will they actually show up and play their best that day? That is the question. I think XSET, of course, they've got so much experience. They're going to go into it very, very solid. Aurora, 07, Legends Gaming. Of course, Legends will be a little bit different, right? Koifel's not playing with that roster. We get it, but I think they're still one of the top teams. I mean, they got third place at the LAN event right before the Split 1 playoff at Champs last year. So these guys are talented. They're all probably going to bring the best version of themselves. And if that happens, I think North America will do great in Group A. I worry about North America inside of Group B, but interested to see how it all falls into place. Also, speaking of the Tripods inside of this Esports World Cup, what organization are they going to get signed to? Of course, I've been chatting with a lot of these players. I've been chatting with some of these coaches, what's happening, what's going on. And I think the big one around Tripods is the fact that they deserve a spot. They know that. They've been working for that. Where will they go? Well, this is coming from Apex After Hours. Snipedown obviously being with FaZe Clan for quite some time, giving his vouch as to why they, the Tripods, could be going to FaZe Clan. Roll the clip.
That in mind, one last kind of point in this topic, we didn't include this team's name because they weren't part of Roster Mania. They stayed loyal to each other. It was the Tripods. He talked about helping FaZe field the best possible roster. Do you think FaZe to Tripods is a viable thing? A lot of people are talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great. FaZe is already represented at EWC with the Counter-Strike team, and I think even another team. And I think FaZe would be absolutely interested in that roster. They've worked with them before. And if I'm not going to field a team, they're backing me 100% and whatever I want to do. And like I said, that they've been so loyal to me. I have nothing but respect for FaZe and will defend them when anyone talks poorly about it based on my own experience. So I want to do right by them. And I think if they could field a roster for that's 1 in Pro League and 2 at the EWC, then that's a win-win. And I would love to see them back representing Tripods.
So interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Of course, like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports news. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.